First at 4, a disturbing discovery inside a Grosse Pointe school. A room is locked down after someone finds a noose. We'll tell you where things stand now. Also, new dashcam video of a wild chase that started in Sterling Heights, where it ended and why police call the ending the best case scenario. Paula.
An elder care expert who puts elders in nursing care says now is the time to consider other options. I'll show you why. Ben.
Hey, Paula, clouds starting to build across the area. We do have storms in the state. Find out if they're headed here and a much better chance of severe weather just around the corner. It's all right now. First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, the Grosse Pointe School District is responding after a noose is found inside Grosse Pointe South High School. A construction worker found that noose in a room during a safety walkthrough last night. No students or staff have been at the high school for at least 3 weeks while construction continues. The district says Turner Construction Company recently held an open discussion on race with various contractors. The discovery has school officials disappointed.
We just saw something involving a noose involving NASCAR, which hurts everyone. We see loss of life. We see police brutality. We see a society that's not equitable. And as an educator, I'm passionate about equity. As an individual, I'm passionate about equity. And when I see that, I feel hurt.
Turner Construction is in charge of the project. The company met with all contractors this morning and closed the job for the remainder of the day. We're working this story and we'll have more from the district tonight at 6. Former Macomb County Clerk Karen Spranger faces a judge for the first time in months and says she now wants to go to trial. Spranger is charged with larceny. She's accused of stealing more than $1,600 from an older friend she was taking care of. Prosecutors said they had discussed a plea deal with Spranger, but Spranger's lawyer says she wants to go to trial. That trial is set for August. We have new dashcam video of a man leading police on a chase with his wife and 1-year-old baby with him. Police say it started after a domestic violence call in Sterling Heights and then ended in Harrison Township. The driver refused to stop, avoiding one stop strip, but then hitting another. He then hit a curb, losing one tire, and then lost another before driving through a gate and then getting stuck trying to drive away.
It's a very dangerous situation in pursuits, and which could have ended up tragically, ended up being a great scenario, the best scenario could be, and the guy was taken into custody without anybody being hurt.
Now, as you just heard, the wife and baby were in the truck, walked away unhurt. New at 5, we're going to have a closer look at everything police did to get that driver to stop, and we'll also have more of that dash cam video. Michigan weather seems to have something for everybody these days, right? Well, we had summer heat and humidity. Now it's cooler, breezier. Ben Bailey here. And how long are these cooler temps going to stick with us, Ben?
Karen, yeah, we've got one more day of the real nice stuff, and then it starts to resemble a little bit more of summer, but we can see those clouds building behind the skyline there. So far, temperatures perfect, mid-70s, low humidity, a little bit of a breeze out there, some gusts that are over 20 miles an hour, but it's not nearly as gusty as yesterday. And there have been a couple isolated showers, mostly in the west zone, but those have really faded. And I think most of us are going to stay dry for the remainder of the day. Temperatures tonight sliding down into the 60s by midnight. And even though there's a slight shot at storms tomorrow, it is Friday night when we could be facing severe weather. We've got a slight risk out for that, and we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. Karen?
All right, thanks very much, Ben. Michigan's governor watching the state's coronavirus data very carefully right now. Her concerns come as the Ingham County Health Department is asking anyone who visited Harper's Restaurant and Brew Pub in East Lansing between June 12th and 20th to self-quarantine. 25 people who went there have now tested positive for the virus. Today, the state has reported more than 300 new cases. That is the highest one-day total this month. We've also seen 4 additional deaths. The governor hoped the state could have entered phase 5 as earlier as this week, but that's not going to happen. She tells Local 4 we must be on guard.
COVID-19 is still here. And so if people drop their guard and stop wearing masks and start getting together and, not practicing social distancing or hand washing, we'll see community spread in Michigan again, and then we'll have to go backwards. And I can say this with all the confidence in the world. While we might not all agree on every step that's taken us to get here, we've made a sacrifice. Let's not have it made in vain.
Meantime, Michigan's legislature has approved a bill to lift the July 1st deadline to get a state budget done. So this year, the state is facing a huge revenue shortfall caused by the pandemic. Which makes it even more challenging to develop a spending bill. That bill will delay the requirement until 2021. Governor Whitmer had indicated she will sign it. Meantime, gyms and health clubs across the state are getting ready to open tomorrow, even as the governor continues to challenge that decision in court. Clubs are putting new safeguards in place, including sanitizing stations. The governor feels it is too soon to reopen gyms, but a federal judge disagreed. New at 5, we're going to go inside this Detroit gym as it prepares to open, and we'll hear why the owner feels he's being penalized for following the rules. The COVID crisis has put a spotlight on some of the challenges nursing homes face, even during the best of times. Today, we're going to share one family's struggle as an example of how hard it can be to care for an elderly family member in the middle of a pandemic. Paula Topman joins us live now, and Paula, this family's case is really tough to hear.
Karen, it really is. The daughter of this 97-year-old contacted me because she wanted to sound an alarm for others. Based on what happened to her mother, not once, but twice in less than 3 months, I do want to warn you, some of the images could be unnerving. When Carol Stutrude looks at her mother today, she wonders what happened because 90 days ago, her mother Irene was a relatively active 97-year-old.
Oh, that is...
When she had a minor fall at her assisted living facility in Warren, a decision was made to move her to rehab for skilled nursing. That was just before the state shut down because of COVID. And what happened has been a series of what Carol calls horror stories.
Like an endless hamster wheel that you never get off.
Like many families, Carol was cut off from her mother other than window visits. So she couldn't assess her health, couldn't see that she was losing weight, not getting meds. Her belief is that her mother became a side effect of overworked, underscheduled, waning staff because of COVID.
You do some of these window visits and your loved ones may be clothed or heavy sweaters on or something else where you think, oh, they look pretty good, until you get up close and personal. And unfortunately, one of the window visits when Mom was in the skilled nursing facility, she suffered a seizure right in front of my eyes and my sister's eyes on the other side of the window. And the staff felt that they were not qualified to realize it was a seizure. And they indicated that was her snoring. And she snores with her mouth open, her neck back, and her eyes wide open. And she was crying.
And this didn't just happen at one nursing home, but when Carol got her mother moved to a second care center, the same thing happened. Now her mother is at her home. 90 days ago, her mother was 100 pounds. Today, she is barely 75. Wendy Jones is the founder of Next Step for Seniors. Her sole job is to help families place seniors in care centers. And yet today,
if you have an opportunity to keep your loved one with you, whether you use home care, other family members. I mean, I would love to see people do that.
Melissa Samuels is the president and CEO of Healthcare Association of Michigan, the industry association for care centers and nursing homes. She believes that while the nursing home and skilled care industry has been hit hard by COVID, it is not fair or reasonable to paint all care centers with the same broad brush.
It's unfortunate that I think we already have finger pointing and scapegoating going on, and we're not even through this virus. We're not even nearly through the virus. I think we have a long way to go. I think we need to rally around and lift up our providers and their staff.
Yeah, so 3 different perspectives here, but they all have uniform agreement on pretty much one thing, and that is it is very difficult to place elders to begin with, and now is not a time to do it alone. Enlist the help of professionals. They know the lay of the land. They know what's going on the ground level in real time for in-care help as well as skilled nursing help. Find a professional to help you get your loved one placed if you're not able to keep them at home. Karen?
Some good advice, and obviously make sure to do some of the research ahead of time in terms of complaints and violations of those centers. Thank you, Paula. A federal appeals court has handed a victory to a former advisor of President Trump. We're talking about Michael Flynn. The president's first national security advisor had pleaded guilty twice to charges he lied to the FBI, but he changed his mind, and the Justice Department wants to drop the case. The judge handling the case has refused. Today, the U.S. Court of Appeals ordered District Judge Emmett Sullivan to dismiss the charges against Flynn. Sullivan could appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. We'll let you know what he decides. Still ahead, a musical superstar who openly talks about using marijuana now says she's sober. What sparked the change and how she feels nowadays. Also, another retailer you probably see all over the place is in some serious trouble. What it means for customers and employees. And we have a story of a sheriff's deputy looking for a missing child.
Also, having kids myself, your natural instinct is to save them no matter what.
This rescue got tricky, but don't worry, it has a happy ending. Before we go to break, we do have this